Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Family Ties production here on Cox Cable. Cy Robinson, former Davenport North coach here, along with Jim Meenan, as we get set for the Davenport Assumption versus Davenport West game, a rematch of two of the titans of the MAC last year. Coach, you went up against both these teams last year. I bet you're happier to be in the press box than down going against them.
Unfortunately, we did play them last year, Jim, and they're both two fine football teams, and we expect the same from them this year.
Anything in particular that Assumption brings to the table?
Well, I think they bring a three-year starter in Tim O'Neill, and I think he's a stalwart right now of the Assumption team, and he'll probably be most likely their leader, and he's a good athlete.
And he's at what position again?
He's a wing back, outside linebacker. He's a very tough young man, very tough.
And then Davenport West, 8-1 during the regular season last year, I believe. Who are their offensive stars?
Well, I think we have to mention their returning running back, Scotty Thompson, at fullback. Scott had a lot of yards against Assumption last year and also played at a defensive back position for him. So he'll be a great leader for the West High School football team.
With 4 Davenport schools, Coach, the rivalries I think would be pretty intense. How intense are they? You've been down on the field in these.
Well, probably one of the greatest rivalries in the MAC conference would be these two schools due, I think, in a little bit just to the proximity of the schools. They're close together, and they've just always been at each other. So.
You used to coach at Davenport West as an assistant. Any great past memory of a game or two that?
Well, we just had some great battles over the years with Assumption, and it seemed like they were always like one touchdown or even one field goal games. That's back in the old days of the Metro Conference. But yeah, a lot of memories of the games, but remembering most of all how close those games were, and just very physical battles. And these two teams tonight will be very physical. They'll beat on each other hard.
Well, we'll be right back with the starting lineups right before the kickoff, right after this. West versus Davenport Assumption, or as they say here, West versus Assumption, about to get underway. Pretty good crowd, although considering what a great night it is, it could be a little bigger. Of course, I always want to sell out.
You're always looking for that full house, aren't you, Jim?
Either in the backfield or in the stands. Hard to believe the ball, I guess it could slip off the tee tonight. There's not a great deal of wind, but slippery when wet.
Back deep for West, we got Nate Meyerbachtel, who is also one of their starting running backs. And kicking off for Assumption is number 3, Chris Willis. Good kick, good deep kick.
Meyerbachtel bobbles it, picks it up at about the 8 and gets to about the 12.
It's returned by Meyerbachtel, about 6 yards on the return to the 12.
What was that?
The 21-2 at first now is back for the night. Falcons take over. First and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
First and 10 from the 12. We'll get the lineup here. At center is Craig Stender, a 6-foot, 180-pound junior, number 55. He'll be hiking the ball to Ron Strobin, the quarterback. Strobin hands off
to Meyerbachtel.
Meyerbachtel for a couple of yards.
West Ties opens up in the double tights with I formation. They were flanked right that time.
Oh, okay. Second down and 7 yards to go. They gave him 3 on that one. Conservative territory, eh, Coach?
Yeah, that is. You got to be careful down there. You don't want to give them that cheap touch. I formation again, double tights from West. Flanker right. And we got a flag on a call, and I didn't see that. I can't believe it. Oh, we got a delay of game. No wonder.
With that delay, we'll jump in here and give the backfield for Davenport West. Jim Ryan, number 9, a 5'10", 154-pound sophomore. Fullback Scott Thompson, number 48, 6 foot, 185, who you talked about in the pregame. And Nate Meyer-Bachtel, 6 foot, 190, is the running back, the other running back. At the left end, TJ Schlecknoth, 6'5", 190, is senior, number 80, and there comes Davenport West. We'll get the rest for you here in a second.
West in a wing formation, just a quick pitch. A little bit of running room there.
Looks like Meyer-Bachtel. He's out to about the 18. I'm sorry. It's just only to the 13.
Had a good defensive hit by Assumption defensive tackle John Oxendine, 260-pound senior, and he flies around pretty good for a big man.
Just underway, a third down and about 10, I guess. Just short of 9, perhaps. As West brings them out, Strobin at the quarterback.
Back to split backs now.
Hands off to Meyer-Bachtel, and he's got some room, breaks into the open, all the way out. First down, out to the 29. Some good blocking there, Coach, and a nice hole.
Just a quick opener up the middle, and the West High line just kind of blew him out of there for a good gainer. That was Meyer-Bachtel.
Gain of about 15, I believe, maybe 16 yards out to the 29. First down, Davenport West. Just underway here in the first quarter.
We got Scott Thompson at the one split back and Meyer-Bachtel at the left half back. There's that lead, same play to the opposite side.
They stopped it this time, although Assumption's done a great job on 3 of the 4 plays, except for the one that gained 16 for a first down.
They're just kind of working the middle in there, just testing things out.
Go over the West line here. It's Jeff Bass, 6'1", 233, a junior at left tackle. Left guard Joe Cardell, 6'4", 215, a junior. The center, Craig Stenders, we mentioned earlier. Right guard Dan Anderson, 6 foot, 217. The right tackle Nick Francie, a 6'1", 229, and a junior. Darren Riggs is the right wide receiver. Fake this time up the middle, now back to pass. Strabelin over the middle, complete, but just for a short gain. 42 for Assumption. Tackles him immediately.
Matt Gravert, Jim. Matt Gravert. Good tackle there. Good pass, but also the defender Gravert was right there to make the play.
Meyer-Bachtel getting plenty of work here early for Davenport West. It's third down and about 5. At the 36-yard line. We're at the 8:48 mark of the first quarter. Of course, no score.
Split backs in the flanker left for West. There's the inside isolation.
Meyer-Bachtel, and he gets 2 yards, but not a first down. He's short by a couple.
Those are tough running yards right there. They're sending Scott Thompson, the fullback, up as the lead blocker and just giving on the isolation play to Meyer-Bachtel. And
fourth down and about 2. The fans always wish the coach would go for it, and then, of course, they'd get on him if he missed it. Didn't get the first down here. Back to punt for Assumption, for West.
Number 7, that's Shane Cochran.
Shane Cochran is the player for West, trots out onto the field. They were one man short, it appeared. Both teams wearing red and white. Last week we had both teams wearing maroon and white.
Flag on the play back there, Jim. Nice punt. Receiving that punt is number 1, Matt Forbes. Good speedster. And West, real good coverage there. Real good punt coverage.
Forbes showed us a little bit of some movement there.
Now we'll see what this flag's all about back here.
Do you think it was a motion call, Coach? Or did they get down in time?
I couldn't really tell it. They signaled against West. Must have been a procedure call. It didn't look like they had 7 men on the line of scrimmage to me. Their outside ends have got to come up on the line of scrimmage a little bit.
With the 2 wide receivers starting out wide and then coming in, is that just to kind of get the Assumption team just to keep them
well, I think so. It's an honesty thing. You put some smaller guys in, split them up, and you got to think about pass, and you bring the big guys in at the tight end position, you got to think about run. So here comes West up now after the 5-yard penalty back in the punt formation.
Good to see Forbes try it again. Another pretty good kick. He fair catches it right at about the 33, and then he starts to take off running, and that will be a
a
flag.
penalty on him. Yep.
It's the right call.
Yep, he brought the ball down and took about 2 steps or 3 steps to return the ball, and that's a penalty in high school football.
It's a penalty, I think, anywhere, huh?
Is it? I'm not sure at all levels, but
I mean, it was the nervousness of a high school kid probably taken over a little on that play. Or either that or he saw some greener pastures than he expected after he fair caught it.
That'll get Coach Kazmarek fired up a little bit.
I don't think it takes much to get Coach Kazmarek fired up. I remember him when he was over at Molina and as an assistant coach, and he sitting up in the press box. A lot of times he was calling the plays, and we could hear him no matter which end we were at.
He didn't need the wire phone down below, huh?
No. He's an excitable guy. He's done a great job with the Assumption program. It's great to see the coaches that have worked their way up get the shot and come through when they get the chance.
True. Personal foul call on Assumption there for the fair catch and then the steps with it.
Assumption, Jeff McGraw leads them out, quarterback number 8. He's a 170-pound junior.
Assumption now in the I formation with motion coming across from the flanker. Just running the outside isolation play.
Gained about a yard, I think. Try to get the ball carrier for you.
Looked like a flock of falcons over there on the tackle.
Definitely. And also in the backfield for Davenport Assumption, Grant Pullman, number 32, a junior. Joe Bedford, as we mentioned, number 48, a senior. Tim O'Neill, who Coach mentioned in the pregame, a running back, number 44. He's a 3-year starter. Is that in the backfield, Coach?
Mm-hmm. There's a tight double wing with motion. And long pass is incomplete.
So to be third down here with 8 yards to go. Ball on the 21-yard line. No score, 6:58 left here in the first quarter. Here at Cox Cable Channel 38, Family Ties Production. Jess Medina and company producing the broadcast.
West High in a 6-man front now. It's really a 44. They just bring a couple outside linebackers up. Same defense. I formation again, just a quick pitch.
Goes around the left side and picks up about 5 yards. It's number 32.
Grant Pullman.
We're having a little debate as to who's wearing which jersey. I guess we'll go with Grant Pullman at 32 upon further review. It's a first down. That's the most important thing as far as Assumption's concerned. First down out at the 30-yard line.
Good run there by Pullman, Jim. Cut back to the inside and made the defender miss the tackle and picked up the first down.
Jeff McCraw fakes a handoff, back to pass, heavy rush, but eludes a tackler, gets off the 44, it's complete.
That's Tim O'Neill.
Up to 40. Tim O'Neill hauls it in and runs for about 5, near a first down, but I think he's shy by about a yard or two.
O'Neill, excuse me, Jim. O'Neill, very versatile player. He can do a lot of things. Now he becomes a receiver there and gains 8 yards.
Matt Graver checks into the backfield for Assumption. Second down and 2 from the 40 is Assumption. Trying to get something going as they mixing it up pretty well here thus far, Coach.
Yes. Got a wing, motion coming across.
The give straight ahead. Pullman again, and it looks like it's very close to a first down.
Yes.
It is a first down.
He made it. Full isolation play. Got the fullback leading up, doing the blocking with the ball carrier running in the line right behind him.
Assumption out to the 42-yard line. Not a first down by much, but doesn't have to be. 5:36 left here in the first quarter. No score. Assumption in the beginning of a drive.
Try to identify the West defense here. I don't believe we've done that, have we?
No, we got to get the Assumption offense across too. Nice fake, gives straight ahead. 32, Pullman burst into the clear on the right side. Darts to the left, down to the 30-yard line. Beautiful run.
A nice job by McGraw, the quarterback there from Assumption, faking the pitch and giving the handoff. And
fake definitely set that play up, but Pullman's quick feet helped a ton too, and just a beautiful run by Pullman. First down, and Assumption definitely driving out the 31-yard line of Davenport West. McGraw barks the signals.
Now we have an unbalanced line to the left
Pullman.
side.
Tripped up in the backfield, lost about a yard, I think.
Unbalanced line by Assumption there, Jim. That's the first we've seen that tonight, and West adjusted to it well. They read it and made the play.
No gain it ends up. Let's give the the Assumption offensive line. Left end, Nick Sunderbrook. Mike Clemmy, left tackle. Marshall Wirtz, left guard. Center, Terry Furlong, a name familiar to many of you. And speaking of familiar names, Eric Anderson, not the former Indiana center back in school, but rather the Eric Anderson for Davenport Assumption at right guard. Robert Hummel and Matt Forbes. Forbes, a receiver.
Okay, Assumption, 2nd and 10. Motion across, give
Got
the
a penalty
tailback.
flag.
Very good defensive play there by number 41 from West, Tim Schaefer, 6'1", 160-pound senior. Sniffed that out and made the play. We're probably going to have a motion penalty again from where that flag was thrown.
The yellow flags are flying at a pretty good pace here early.
Motion penalties declined, so it'll be a 3rd and 10 there. And it looks like Assumption probably lost a foot on that play. Maybe a foot and a half from my eagle eye here.
Right. Big play for Assumption. Based on how much they've passed so far, I would think we might see a pass here.
Okay, we got the wing right, or the slot right with the unbalanced again, and the wing left. A little
double reverse.
There's a fumble, and I think it's going to be a West ball,
Yeah,
Jim.
definitely, Coach. They never made connections on the handoff there.
Right.
It almost looked as though one of them wasn't sure he was supposed to take it or not.
Assumption had the double reverse in there, and the second handoff looked like it hit the handoff man a little bit high in the chest, and the ball fell out, and West recovers. First down on their own 35.
Coach, what's your feeling on those kind of plays? Some coaches like to do them a lot, and some don't. The fans love them. No doubt about that.
They're fun to watch, but they're a nightmare if you fumble the ball, obviously.
Straight up the middle, and then off to the right side, number 30.
That's Meyerbachtel, Jim, and he had a little room, and all of a sudden O'Neill came out of nowhere and made the play, but they gained about 4 on it?
Looks like about 4. Thus far, Meyerbachtel for West and Pullman for Assumption getting a lot of the work, which is good for us. It helps us locate their numbers early.
That helps.
Without a spotter here, we will be a little slow on a spot upon occasion.
The flanker, Jim Ryan, for West brings the play in, number 9. Double tight I formation. There's the inside ISO.
Off. Looks like a first down.
Good block in the front of the isolation play with Scott Thompson again leading the blocking, and Meyerbachtel carrying the football to first down.
Well, I guess it's just short of a first down. As we see, just short apparently. Well, I tell you, that looks like.
I'm going to go right out on a limb and tell you that's a first down.
That sure looks worthy of a measurement at the very least. Assumption takes a timeout.
Coach Flynn is a little growly over there. I think he won the measurement, but he's not going to get it, and it's going to be 3rd and about 2.5 inches, I think.
Coach, what's the ruling in high school? Can a coach request it? And what does the official have to do if he does request it?
If he requests the first down, and the officials, I don't think they have to honor that request. I think it's a time factor. It involves a time factor because if a coach requests a lot of first down measurements, that takes a lot of time to do that. So it interrupts the flow of the game.
Do you ever wish they would allow you to, like, 3 per game or something?
That'd help, I think.
Seems like no matter which side of the field you're on that one, that deserved a measurement.
Pretty crucial down for the West High Falcons right now. They got 3rd and real short, and to keep this drive alive, and also to pick them up just a little bit too.
Now we're going to get that measurement.
well,
I guess we were right. At least in terms of it needing a measurement.
I still think that's a first down.
That is about as close as you can get if it's not one.
I think it's less than 2.5 inches.
Yeah, about an inch maybe.
Wow. Okay, we'll see what happens here.
Quarterback sneak, I think.
Well, this will be a big-on-big play up the middle.
I doubt we'll see a double reverse here. As West lines up in the eye. Strobel fumbles the ball, but we got a penalty flag. And who has recovered?
Jim, I don't think the offensive line for West High was set yet, and the center and the quarterback quick counted it. I think that's going to be a procedure call, which it is. Yep. Costly penalty right there. That's a very costly penalty.
Coach Paul Flynn probably very upset about being an inch short now, because now they're 5 yards and an inch short. 3rd down. This changes the whole complexion of this 3rd down play.
Sure does. I'm sure the offensive line was coached to get up on the ball and get set and get ready to go, because they want to quick snap that ball, and they weren't ready to go. Okay, 3rd and 5.
Give us to Meyer Bachtel, and he's going nowhere on this one. I don't even know if he got back to the line of scrimmage. His assumptions swarmed all over him.
A lot of white shirts on the tackle there.
2:02 left here in the first quarter, no score. Assumption versus West. 4th down thus far, the punter for Davenport West.
Shane Cochran again.
Getting a bit of a workout. His 3rd punt, only 2nd of which will count.
This will be Matt Forbes back to receive. Good punter, another pretty punt.
No fair catch this time, and he should have taken one. The ball's loose. Forbes picks it up and is swarmed under at about the 26-yard line.
Interesting play there. It appeared to me that the defender didn't give the receiver the necessary room to catch that ball. Obviously, I'm wrong, but the receiver must have room to catch the ball.
I also thought, was there 2 Assumption players down there?
There was a blocker in front of the receiver.
Seemed like he might have gotten a little in the way too, but I'm not sure. Let the replay show what it may.
Yep.
Right now it's a 1st down for Assumption. I'm sure Mark Kazmarek is happy with that much at the 26-yard line, at its own 26. Give on the left side for a couple yards.
Just a smash mouth play and for no gain. Oh, excuse me, looks like they're going to get a little something out of that maybe.
Is that Gravert carrying?
Yes, I believe it was. Number 42.
42, Matt Gravert for Assumption.
Pick up over yard. 2nd down 9.
2nd and 9 from about a generous 27. Jeff McGraw leads him out.
There's the unbalance again by Assumption.
The give to Grant Pullman on the left side. He breaks into the clear a little bit, turns the corner. A nice run. He really let that play develop.
Very nice play by Pullman there. He avoided about 3 West tacklers and was able to come up with a good gainer. Looks like it's going to be close to a 1st down. And yeah, striped indicates a 1st down.
He gave that short little 1st down indication, and then the full spread of the arm as we're nearing the end of the first quarter here. Assumption may not get a playoff. Looks like it'll definitely be 0-0 after 1. It's McGraw. Barks the signals. He will get the playoff. Give straight ahead to number 5. He bursts
inside fullback
for a 1st down.
Number 5, Joe.
I'm sorry, that was 1st down, so he gets about 5 yards. Joe Bitterman
I noticed one change Assumption has made tonight. They put the big defensive tackle Oxendine, who's a 265-pound tackle, in snapping the football, and that gives them probably a lot of versatility up the middle with their traps and their lead posts. So far, pretty good defensive battle right now.
We're at the end of the first quarter here. No score, Assumption versus West. Coach, anything surprise you in this game so far?
Well, not so far. I expected both teams to be tough defensively. I think their philosophies are also that the defense wins a lot of games, although you got to put some points on the board. But right now, the defenses are really flying around for both teams. I think Assumption probably has the offensive edge. It seems like they're moving the ball a little bit better.
Zero here after one as we get set to start the second quarter.
Okay.
Oxendine leads them out. McGraw quarterback. Pullman 32. Keep your eye on him. Back to pass, man, not open on the right side. Forbes with a nice leaping effort, but well covered by number 48 for Davenport West.
That's Scott Thompson. Scott Thompson, excellent defender. There's a play, Jim, that Coach Kazmarek likes to do, I think, just to keep defenses honest. He likes to throw that fade pass right on the sideline, and a quarterback threw it perfectly. You throw it right on the sideline hashes, and if it's overthrown, it's out of bounds, and it doesn't get picked off.
Kind of looked like the play Michigan ran to win the game last week.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what Michigan ran, the corner fade.
Although I don't think they were going for safety on the final one, but they ran about the same thing several times before that play.
Now we got an I wing with motion coming at us.
McGraw pitches to Pullman on the right side. Burst up for about a 3-yard pickup inside the 35 to about the 33.5-yard line.
Scott Thompson again on the tackle. A little confusion there. Now they're all set.
Back to receive number 9 for Davenport West.
That's Jim Ryan.
And this kick is towards the sideline, and he picks it up at about the 12. Makes a move to the left now down the right side. Tripped up immediately. He got to about the 16. A nice tackle by number 88 or 86. I think it was 88. Yes, 88 for Assumption.
Greg Blau.
Greg Blau. Yep. A nice tackle.
170-pound junior.
So a lot of action from 15 to 15. Not 20 to 20, but more like 15 to 15 thus far tonight. No score. 11:03 here in the second quarter. Is Davenport West.
Okay.
Stroblin leads them out.
Craig Stender over the football and
high formation. Gives straight ahead. Oh. Got about 4 yards as Ryan. Looked like he was going to get a little more. Nice tackle there by somebody on the shoe.
Yeah, that was Tim O'Neill again coming from his outside linebacker spot. He's all over the place. I'll tell you, Ryan had some room. Ryan's only a sophomore and he can fly.
Davenport West.
That play would have gone for big yards. O'Neill did a good job there from his inside
21-yard line.
spot.
Out of the I formation. Gives straight ahead. Looks like Jim Ryan again.
Again, the inside linebacker, Tim O'Neill, looks like he made the initial hit there.
Looks like the kind of play a coach would be tempted to run about 10 times tonight and figure 1 or 2 of them might break.
Yeah, all of a sudden they're going to do that a few times, and all of a sudden they're going to pitch that ball out of there and see if they can get it to the outside. We got about a foot there, maybe. There's another crucial first down again attempt by West, because if they don't make this, they're going to have to punt the ball out of there. So let's see what they do this time.
I imagine they'll at least stay put as far as
I'll bet they
avoiding penalty flags
I bet
go.
they do. Okay.
10-minute mark of the second quarter, no score between Assumption and West here at Brady Street Stadium. Oh, collision in the backfield, but
they're going to
he
get away
breaks
with it.
free and
Nice
gets the
job.
first down. Ryan showing that flair of speed and a good reaction.
That's a heads-up play there by a sophomore running back, Jim Ryan. There was absolutely, a matter of fact, he collided with the quarterback and then tried to get up into the line of scrimmage and nothing there, so he scooted to the outside and on the broken play converted to first down. Takes a little luck once in a while, I guess, Jim.
But probably felt like a fullback on that play with that initial hit, except for it was the wrong jersey. But with both teams wearing red and white, it could be, and both teams more importantly wearing white helmets, I think that could be a little confusing for everybody tonight. A time or two.
This is Meyerbacher.
Oh, almost kicked out of there late in the play. It looks like they're going to, no, not blow it dead.
Looks like it was ruled a fumble, and
Yes.
West recovered it. The ball squirted out of there like it was somebody pounded it out of there.
Yeah, it flew through the air about 5 yards sideways. At any rate, it's Davenport West ball, second down, about 10 yards to go. Much ado about nothing, I guess, on that play.
Scott Thompson brings a play in, and Jim Ryan goes out. High formation by West.
Fake to Thompson, now the give to Meyerbacher. No, back to pass, and he's got a man just complete.
Nice catch.
To 80 for Davenport West. TJ Schneckloff, but well short of a first down. Out to the 34-yard line. Nice pass nonetheless by Ron.
Good run action play there, Jim.
Strobin.
By Strobin, the quarterback. Faked the isolation play and hit Schneckloff for a good gainer, but we still have third and 5 here.
Ron Strobin, number 15, the quarterback. Gone the distance so far tonight for Davenport West. Fake to Meyerbacher. Strobin goes over the right side. Got only perhaps a yard as Davenport Assumption was there covering that play.
Jim, they had the dive option set up pretty good there with all the dive plays they run, but the quarterback couldn't get the ball. Scotty Thompson was out to the outside, and if Strobin could have got the ball to him, they'd had a good gainer there. Fourth defensive play, though.
Definitely. Fourth down at the 36.
I believe that was Hummel that made that defensive play. Robert Hummel, the left down tackle for Assumption.
Well, Forbes back deep for Assumption. A high snap to number 7. He just gets it off. A nice rush, but good effort there by the punter for Davenport West.
Got a good West bounce out of it for about 10 extra yards there. And they downed the ball at about the 23-yard line.
Shane Cochran did a good job of getting that kick off. And this time, Assumption decided not to pick it up. 7:20 mark here of the second quarter. Still no score.
Just trading some punts is what we're doing here. Punters getting a good workout tonight.
First and 10 from the 23. Assumption will have to march 77 yards if they're going to score on this drive. Number 2 checking into that Assumption backfield. Ryan Arguello, a running back. It's first we've seen of him tonight, I believe.
Okay, now we got a new center for Assumption. This is Furlong.
McGraw faking twice. Almost thought he went down there. Now he's down. Swarmed under. Back at about the 13-yard line. A big play for Davenport West.
I think they were running it looked like a double reverse play, except I think it was the quarterback was faking that play and was just going to keep it and go to the outside left. A good defensive play there, and I didn't see who made that play.
Thus far, Assumption's double reverse has pretty much gone just for a reverse. I think they've lost yardage on both plays. Second down now from the 13. They've got 20 yards to go.
Assumption in the I formation with motion from the flanker to the inside.
Looking downfield. He's got his man Forbes at about the 25-yard line. A nice catch.
Nice throw. Good arm.
That was textbook passing attack on that play. The way the coaches designed it, fundamentals look solid, including the reception by Forbes.
Nice play. Brought down there by 46 Eric Dilly and 48 Scott Thompson again.
Third down from the 25, about just over 8 yards to go for a first down. 6:02 here in the second quarter. Davenport Assumption versus Davenport West. No score as McGraw gets ready to take the center snap. Back to pass, looking on the left side. He's got his man, but well short of a first down, as West was all over that play.
Good pass play, good completion, but also good defensive there by number 41 from West High School, Tim Schaefer, 6 foot, 165-pound senior. There was a lot of pressure there, looked like from number 90 from the West defense. That's Gabe Wood, 6'4", and 6'4" gets up there with his hands above. He's like thrown over the tree.
Assumption. Kicker gets it off to about the 33, and a nice run by Meyerbacher, I believe. Yeah.
Yes.
Picked it up on the run, a low kick, and he was able to catch that one easily and begin about a 20-yard return.
This is the best field position West had, Jim, and see if they can take advantage of that now. But the defenses are dominating this game.
Strobrin will lead them out in unfamiliar territory tonight, inside Assumption's territory at the 43, just inside the 43-yard line. 5:15 left here in the second quarter.
You're not going to call that the 42.5, huh?
No.
Okay.
I try to give the fans as accurate a picture as I can. It always bothers me when they say 42, 43, when, hey, it's in between them.
60 defense, 60 front by Assumption.
Back to pass. He's got his man wide open. 86 takes it in for Davenport West down the right sideline. Breaks the tackle inside the 20 down to about the 17.
That's Brent Goers, Jim, number 86. He's a 6'5" senior, so he's a big target out there. Ball was well thrown out there to him.
It was wide open, and he made a nice run. Broke a tackle after he got the ball and moved it downfield. 19-yard pickup to the 24-yard line, and this is definitely the 24.
Just kind of ran a little flat route out there, and nice throw by Strobane.
Give us to Meyerbacher on the right side. He burst into the clear, and he's got a first down in the neighborhood of the 10-yard line, and the crowd comes alive on the Davenport West side of the field.
Just looked like a straight off tackle play out there with a little crossbuck action in the backfield by West, and Meyerbacher scooted down there. Was that Ryan or Meyerbacher?
I thought it was Meyerbacher.
Meyerbacher, number 30.
First down at the 12.
Now Assumption's going to call a timeout and try to cool that West offense down a little bit. And this is a good place for a timeout right here. West High School's got a lot of momentum going here, and Assumption's defense is going to have to rise to the occasion here, or they're going to have some points on the board here.
Coach, how many timeouts is it for the game or for half?
3 per half, Jim. 3 per half, and most nights that's not nearly enough.
I bet, especially in the second half. Great timeout call. I agree with you. I think this is the perfect time to call, especially if you got 6 to burn 3 each half.
That was a good, smart call, I think.
So I'm sure West would gladly remain on the field and kept marching.
Indeed. We'll see what this timeout does to the momentum here.
Davenport Assumption getting a little oxygen break as well. How much do you think that helps in high school?
Oh, it helps considerably. All these young kids need is just a little bit of rest, and then they're back ready to go again.
I say this facetiously. Is it due to the high altitude of Brady Street Stadium after you get up Brady Street Hill?
Well, I have trouble breathing up in this press box.
That with the pork chops or whatever being cooked in the background, maybe they need it for that too.
Looks like a fireworks display over there. But that's smoked pork chops, I think. Okay.
First down at the 12 for Davenport West. This is the furthest they've penetrated into Assumption territory all night.
Wing eye formation with motion, just isolation.
Meyerbacher up the middle. Nice tackle. Stood up by...
That looks like number 42 for Assumption.
Matt Gravert. Playing some tough linebacker for the Knights. He did get about 2 yards, however.
Now that's an inside isolation play again over the right guard. Looked like Meyer-Bachtel was just a hair deep that time. Scott Thompson was up in front of him making the block. Now we got a number 33 in at fullback for the Falcons.
Strowman. Oh, fumble! Meyer-Bachtel didn't get the handle, but
I think that's Assumption's ball.
Assumption is recovered. Inside the 5-yard line. What a big play. You'll want to watch a replay of this one, sports fans.
Costly mistake for the Falcons there on the fumble.
A missed connection that appeared all the way.
You got to credit the Assumption defense here for the hard hit that makes the ball go loose.
Meyer-Bachtel almost got to the recovery, but the Assumption was right there. Official made the call immediately. There was no arguments. Assumption ball at the 5. I don't think they'll be passing here. 3:47 left in the second quarter.
Didn't look like Meyer-Bachtel ever had a real good grip on the ball.
That's right.
Little off-tackle play by Assumption.
Looked like Jim Ryan.
Number 5 for Assumption.
Oh, Joe Bitterman. Joe Bitterman. Seen a little action here in the second quarter. Looks like he got about 3 out to about the 8-yard line.
Number 51 in the game for the West defense. Jesse Offner, a 6'1", 170-pound junior. At the left defensive end spot or outside linebacker.
We may go into this half scoreless. Halftime. Short pass, complete or not?
That's complete, I believe, to Forbes. And that's Scott Thompson right there to make the defensive play.
Not much of a gain out to the 12-yard line. That play looked a little dangerous to me, even though I know it is designed to be a safe play.
I'm sure somebody in the booths said throw that ball out there because we got a good big cushion by the left halfback, Scott Thompson, but he came up roaring.
McGraw gives to Pullman.
The crossbuck action. He's
not going to get anything here.
Stuffed by number, is that number 80 or number 90, I think. Gabe Wood, 6'4", senior for West. Good defensive play there. Now we got a timeout, West. I'm sure they're thinking here if they can get Assumption to punt the ball here on 4th down, they're going to have good field position with a couple minutes to go, and that gives them time to score.
Right now, it won't take us too long to do the halftime scoring if these final 2 minutes hold true.
That'll give us plenty of Pepsi Cola time, I guess. Oh, that's a free ad for them, though, isn't it? I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, that's okay.
A pop, good pop break for us.
And we could use it. We might also go over our numbers a little more, so we got our lineups a little late tonight. 4th down for Assumption at about the 8-yard line, and this is a play that has to produce a little bit of gray hairs for the coach prior to its launching.
You better believe it. You got a punter standing in the end zone, and you get just a little bit of a bad snap here, and it can easily be a safety or a touchdown. A lot of pressure on a center here to get a nice snap back there.
Who do we got snapping for Assumption?
I believe that's is that Furlong, number 52. Yes.
I believe it's Terry Furlong.
Right, number 52.
Back to punt. I thought it says number 11, but I don't see him listed. From his end zone, line drives it, but a pretty good boot all the way out to about the 47-yard line. Here comes Meyer-Bachtel.
Got a good block out there.
Up the middle, down to about the 34-yard line, about a 13-yard return.
Good job by Assumption there, getting the punt away, and but West is going to take over here on their own, or on Assumption 35 with a real good field position, and 2:02 on the board.
That was Chris Willis, the kicker, the punter, getting that punt off. About a 39-yard boot. 1st down for Davenport West at the inside the 35-yard line.
West in the I formation, flanker right, and running the option.
Meyer-Bachtel gets a couple yards as Assumption covered it well.
West did not get a very good fake there to their fullback, Jim, and I think that's what snuffs that play. Their fullback's got to draw some people to the inside so they can flip the ball to the outside, and it didn't happen there. But they still got 3 yards on the play.
Matt Gravert in on the tackle, number 42 for Assumption. Down to just inside the 32-yard line. We're at the 122 and counting mark here to half. No score.
Ron Strobane, number 15, bring the play in for the Falcons. I formation with motion.
Strobane back the pass. Got his man, but he's going nowhere with it. A low pass.
Looked like he dropped that.
Yeah, I thought I heard the ball bounce, but they're ruling it a reception.
Rule out a reception. If that was caught, it was a great catch.
21, I believe, for Davenport West. Mike Oberhaus, I think.
Okay, West in the I formation again here.
Is it Strobane, coach, or Strobane?
Strobane, I believe it's
Strobane, I'm sorry. To the Strobane family for a couple Strobans earlier. Nice fake. Just about swarm. Pass. Oh, just overthrew him.
Pass was to Darren Riggs. Jim, 6'3" junior, just overthrown. Strobane showing a good arm there. Running to his left and throwing with his right arm. That's tough to do for that distance.
Coach, it is tough to do, and I'm always curious why coaches so often have the quarterback doing that.
Well, you have to avoid being either a right-handed team or a left-handed team, so once in a while you have to kind of do that. And it's not that they don't practice that, because they do. Teams, I think, tend to get a little bit right-handed with the right-handed quarterbacks, and conversely so with their wrong-arm quarterbacks.
Strobane give ahead on the left side, tripped up.
A jarring tackle there by Tim O'Neill again.
Meyerbachtel short of the first down. It'll be Assumption ball. Good defense by Assumption at a potentially key point in the game. One of those points that is forgotten by the fans later on, but not by the coaches.
That's right. Defenses are really playing a commendable game tonight so far.
We're scoreless with about one more play left here in the first half, and I don't think Assumption will get too fancy.
Yeah, they're coming out in the
McGraw
wide slot formation.
Ready to take the center snap. Looks like we're going to get a penalty. Stop the clock for you.
There again, the defense is not watching the football. They're watching that motion man, and when the motion man goes, it draws them offside. Plus, the defensive penalty shuts the clock off. So.
So take first down at the 32-yard line now, and 5 yards to go for a first down, and they may not even get a playoff. And I doubt Mark Kazmarek will care at this point. Too many negative things can happen at the 30-yard line.
They're probably ready to go in and both teams are probably ready to go in and make their offensive adjustments.
Pitch to number 6. He gets about a couple yards. That's Pat Bush, a junior. And we're at the end of the first half. No score. Assumption versus West. Stay tuned for more action here on Cox Cable Channel 38, Family Ties Production.
DARE is an acronym for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. It is a drug prevention program that not only focuses on the negative aspects of drugs, but the positive side of life.
DARE teaches young people how to resist peer pressure to take drugs and to resist the pressure to join gangs.
Community schools with their local police or sheriff's department offer a 17-week DARE program to teach kids to say no to drugs and gangs. Dare to make a difference.
Seconds here before the opening kickoff of the second half. Assumption in the white jerseys, we should say, and Davenport West in the red jerseys with the white numerals. Both teams wearing white helmets. It's just unfair for us announcers to have a red and white against each other. I like those colors that are more definitively different.
We'll get into some of those on a little later on.
Yeah, eventually.
Let's see, we back to receive for Assumption. We got Matt Forbes, number 1, and Grant Pullman, number 32.
Both of these guys, to me, have the potential to break one before the year's over.
They can both run, Jim. They can both run. This is Shane Cochran on the kickoff. Good kick.
Good kick all the way down to about the 6-yard line, and here comes Pullman.
Got a lane. He's got a lane.
First into the clear, up to the 40. He's got one man to beat, and he's tackled right at midfield by the kicker, Shane Cochran.
What happened, Jim? West got a little bit of convergence to the middle a little too soon, and it created that lane over there, and they picked up a couple good blocks, and Cochran was lucky to force the ball out of bounds.
The thing I like about this Pullman kid is he seems to be smart enough to let the play develop.
He does that well. He lets his blockers go, and okay.
A little momentum for the Knights as McGraw leads them out here to start the second half at quarterback. Back to pass, opening up indeed, out to the right side. He's got his man Forbes, shake and bakes, a couple moves, he's over, cutting across the email, go all the ways at the 20, 15, he will go, touchdown, Assumption, Forbes, just like that, we've got action, no score in the first half, second half not even a minute old, and Assumption is on the board. McGraw leads them out here to start the second half at quarterback. Back to pass, opening up indeed, out to the right side. He's got his man Forbes, shake and bakes, a couple moves, he's over, cutting across the email, go all the ways at the 20, 15, he will go, touchdown, Assumption, Forbes, just like that, we've got action, no score in the first half, second half not even a minute old, and Assumption is on the board.
Nice running there by Forbes. Little pattern to the flat out there, and we just talked about that, about opening the game up at halftime, what we thought they would do this half, and sure enough they've come out and thrown a pass for the TD. So threw the ball out to the flat, and Scott Thompson was out there unable to make the play, and Forbes cut clear back across the field, and he was gone.
The old theory of just getting the ball into your best runner, or at least the man with the most moves and most speed in open field, and he made some nice moves.
Yes, he did.
PAT kick is up, and it looks good. No, yes, it is good. Number 3 for the Knights.
That's
Chris Willis.
Chris Willis, coach.
Boots it up and good. 7-0 Assumption here early in the third quarter. Boy, I'd love to watch. I urge you to run your own replay on that touchdown pass to Forbes from McGraw. Just a brilliant run by by Forbes from McGraw. Nice pass by McGraw, but it was pretty much Forbes. A couple more like that, and they may call it Forbes Field.
That didn't take long at all. There's 24 seconds gone here in the second half.
That play would have been good on
the kickoff return.
Right, that would have been good on the 24-second clock in basketball.
We'll see how that affects the West now.
Boy, that Assumption sideline looks vibrant and alive right now. Everybody up on their feet, and they're holding hands, forming a chain on the sidelines. I see the Thunder's trainer, Bob Cunningham, down there, who I work with. I would be remiss if I didn't say something about Bob. He's an excellent trainer.
Okay.
I have verification from the Night Film Man on that one. He is a good trainer. Kickoff down about the 12-yard line, slipping as he got out to the 20. We'll try to get the number on that.
That was Meyerbachtel, I believe.
I don't think so, Coach.
Oh, Okay, was that Shane Connor? Was that number 22?
I think so.
Shane Connor on the return. He's one of the upbacks. Meyerbachtel was deep there. Kick was high, but it wasn't quite as deep.
As though they got it in the end zone and down it. First down at the 20 for Davenport West.
Split backs and
Strobing gives up the middle.
Loosener upper.
I think this is Meyerbachtel. He doesn't get much. This game starting out fast and furious here in the third quarter after a scoreless tie in the first quarter. Assumption up 7-0. In case you missed it, you'll definitely want to press rewind as Forbes made a brilliant run with a short pass. He was all over the field. He used the whole field.
He certainly did, one corner to the other. Split backs. Just a quick in pattern to number 95 for West. Steve Bennett, the intended receiver there. And it was there, but Strobing drilled it in the ground. Ball was low.
Sure enough, Coach, as you had suggested at halftime, both teams might be opening it up, and they are right off the bat here in the second half. Not that they were ultra conservative in the first half.
No, that's true.
Didn't really have good field position too often.
And their running games were what yardage they did gain. Their running games were gaining. So here's a little counter play. Jim Ryan, the sophomore running back, is stuffed for a loss. They had a flow of the play to the right side of the formation and gave to Ryan coming back, and defense, the Assumption defense read it well and was right there to make the play. Looked like number 72, Robert Hummel, but I'm not sure about that either. He's their, looks to be their right defensive tackle over there.
Davenport West, Shane Cochran back to punt. Guess who's back to receive? Yes, Mr. Forbes.
Good high punt.
He's going to take this one.
Oh, good block out there by looked like number 54 for Assumption. Mike Clemmy came down and leveled one of the West players, and that turned the corner, but luckily the other pursuit made the play.
I got to say this for Forbes. I think he won't show in the stats and return yardage there. He probably got a couple yards, but he probably saved his team 15 had he let that ball bounce on the ground.
That's a good point. It's nice to have a sure-handed man back there, because that's gonna save you 15, 20 yards on the bounce most of the time.
Assumption with a chance to really get in somewhat control of this game. So they start at their own inside the 50. Davenport West, just a little dump pass off in the right flat.
Pullman came across from his flanker position in motion there across the formation, wound up in the flat, and he was wide open.
Right now, Jeff McGraw doing a good job of getting the ball to his receivers and giving them a chance to do something. I believe he's now 6 for 8 on the game.
Forbes to the near side, and we got the unbalanced line again from the slot formation.
Just about drew him offside.
They're going to run a little counter dive, very effective.
Certainly faked me out. Bitterman with the carry. I was watching McGraw, and sure enough, he didn't have the ball. First down, Assumption. As it appears that touchdown has given them a definite burst of momentum here offensively and defensively, and well it should after a
really had. Yeah, it really fired them up.
Scoreless tie in the first half. Assumption up 7-0, 9:08 in the third quarter. The Knights on the march at the Davenport West 32-yard line.
West still in their even front defensively.
Pullman behind McGraw in the backfield. The give to Pullman. Dances a little at the line and gets maybe a yard.
I believe there was a fumble on the play, Jim, but I think Assumption recovered it.
Coach, I'm curious, how much time in practice is devoted to fumble recoveries? You hear a lot about it upon occasion, but how much time per week
on
just on defending fumble recovery deal?
Well, we don't spend a lot of time on fumble recovery, but we spend a lot of time on handoff drills so to avoid the fumble. But as far as a loose ball is concerned, if you did that too often, you'd probably have a lot of sore heads, I think.
Good point. Good point.
This is O'Neill in motion toward the near side.
And he's looking for him. McGraw instead, however, he cuts in, finds number 10. That's Nick Sunderbrook for nearly a first down. About 8 yards, it looks like.
O'Neill came across in motion toward us and kind of was the kind of drew the cornerback toward this near side, and the
decoy.
Sunderbrook was able to slip in underneath it from the backfield spot.
That was one of those plays you design, and it went just as it was designed.
Very nice play. Good call.
Coach, how many plays do you think the average high school team has in its playbook?
Well, they all like to say they're basic, but you can have several plays off of any particular play you have. You can go different directions with it. That's almost infinity with plays you can have, but most people like to keep something there that you can run, and you can run well.
Joe Bedford got the call there. That was a somewhat unusual play because I don't know if we've seen him carry the ball tonight. The silent man in the night backfield picks up the first down. At least that's what.
Number 41 for West now, one of the inside linebackers, Tim Schaefer, is now calling the defensive signals for West. Looks like we got a measure coming over here.
Bring out the chains. Let's go over the Assumption offensive line, which seems to be doing a pretty good job right now. Nick Sunderbrook at one of the ends, number 10, Mike Clemmy, 225-pound senior at one of the tackle positions. Marshall Wirtz at the guard. He's 240-pound senior. It is a first down Assumption. Terry Furlong getting some of the center action, a 175-pound junior, kind of tiny for a center. Eric Anderson, 200-pounder senior at the right guard. Right tackle Robert Hummel, 240-pound senior. And the name that needs no introduction at this point, really not the lineman, but wide receiver Matt Forbes, who took it in for Assumption's and the game's lone score on a just under a 50-yard scamper with a pass.
Okay, we got Forbes split way out, and there goes O'Neill towards him in motion.
Pitches to Pullman. He's got him going to sweep. Good pursuit by Davenport West. They're all over the play, and Pullman couldn't quite get around the corner.
Jim, that was a fine defensive play there by defensive end T.J. Sneckloth for West. He took on the block of O'Neill, and O'Neill's a tough blocker. Shed that block and went over and made the play.
For a loss of about 6 yards, all the way back to the 37-yard line. That'll stop your momentum in a hurry. Or certainly put a pause to it. It's only second down, however, at about the 27-yard line. McGraw brings out the Knights. Pullman's been getting a lot of action. O'Neill's been in motion a lot this second half. Fake, give to Pullman, breaks a tackle or two at the line of scrimmage and gets about most of the yardage back, actually.
Same play we saw earlier. It brought O'Neill across towards us in motion and faked the pitch to the running back and turned around and gave to the dive back going the opposite direction. Good looking play there.
Jim Meenan here with Cy Robinson, the former Davenport North coach, who's, much like me, quickly picking up a ton of experience in the booth. His second game in 2 days. Are you getting paid overtime, Coach, on this one?
I hope so. That check in the mail, I think, huh?
So McGraw brings them out, and they're out of the eye this time.
This is Pullman in motion coming toward us.
Looking downfield. Nice tackle, 96 for Davenport West.
Lance Smith.
All over him. Sacks.
244-pound junior. Showed some excellent hustle there.
Back to the 29-yard line. Fourth down, Assumption.
Assumption's trying to overload the side here on the pass play with a motion man and a back out of the back and also a split receiver over here. So they're trying to overload the side, and a good defensive play there by Lance Smith from the Falcons.
Apparently their kicker isn't in the 45-yard range. Not many high school kickers are. Ball at about the 29.
Draw, straight up draw, and West sniffs that out pretty good.
I guess you could say
that fired West defense up. We'll see what their offense can do.
Coach Kazmarek showing a lot of faith in his defense, but
Yes,
I'm a little
he is.
surprised he didn't get the ball in Forbes' hands there, or at least toss it a little bit out in the flats, see if he could.
That's one of those, you got a 4th down and 16 situation, Jim. That's one of those you call it situations. You can't kick the ball because you're too far away, so you tell some assistant, what do you want to run here, Coach?
First down at the 27 for Davenport West. I think he spoke the truth there. Back to pass. Davenport West. He intercepted by Forbes.
That
He
could be gone.
takes it to
Could
the
be
corner
gone.
at 15 and finally brought down, knocked out of bounds by Meyerbacher. Matt Forbes having a big third quarter here. Almost went in for his 2nd touchdown. Truth there. Back to pass. Davenport West. He intercepted by Forbes.
That
He
could be gone.
takes it to
Could
the
be
corner
gone.
at 15 and finally brought down, knocked out of bounds by Meyerbacher. Matt Forbes having a big third quarter here. Almost went in for his 2nd touchdown.
Jim, the intended receiver there was Brent Goers, and he was open, but Forbes has the speed and the foot speed to recover, and he came up and picked that ball off, and away he went. Meyerbacher saved the day, because if he hadn't been able to push him out of bounds, that was 6.
Excellent timing by Forbes on that one. Like you're saying, Coach, he just was right there when he had to be.
Nice defensive play.
Ball inside the 15, right at about the 14-yard line, and the Assumption crowd comes alive. 4:24 left in the third quarter. 7-0 Assumption, and they've got a chance to put 6 more on the board.
Unbalanced line by Assumption here again with a wide slot, and here comes a little counter.
Oh, another double reverse,
Crisscross
another
again.
fumble, but this time I think O'Neill got it. Is the time he ditches that play for this night anyway?
That's the 3rd time they've tried to run that tonight, and I think it's been probably for a negative 18 yards. And luckily they regained the ball.
I guess as a player, you got to enjoy playing for Coach Kazmarek if he's willing to go to what I guess people would view a fun play like that. But
as a
it's not
player,
working yet tonight.
As a player, those are fun plays to run. But if they don't go, look out.
Those are the ones the coach uses to late in the practice to keep everybody's attention.
You
As
bet.
McGraw brings them out, I think you might see a nice conservative carry by Pullman here. And that's what we see, and he just gets, he's lucky if he got back to the line.
Well, isolation play, running a fullback through the block and give to Pullman, and West stuffed it pretty good. Now we got what, 3 and 15 here.
3rd down from the 20. How about a little toss in the flats to Forbes?
Assumption's going to have to hustle here a little bit, get this play in. Sunderbrook's bringing it in.
Gut check time for Davenport West. They stop Assumption here. The momentum could swing their way.
West got 12 players on the field. He's going to make it.
It's McGraw. Parts
High
the
wing.
signals. Gives straight ahead, and he's
Fullback
got a little
trap.
bit of running room. Number 5 burst into the clearings. Touchdown! 20-yard run for Joe Bierman. That's only about his 3rd carry of the night.
Coach, Jim, that was just a little inside trap, and right guard from Assumption came across and opened the hole up, and a defender had a hands on
Bitterman,
on Bitterman, but couldn't make the play, and after that he was gone.
Bitterman did a great job of shaking loose the tackler with his feet there right after he gained about 5 yards. That didn't look like it was going all the way at first, but a nice run by Joe Bitterman. Touchdown Assumption. 13-0 Knights over Davenport West as we get set for the PAT kick. By Willis, it's up, and it's good.
Willis, very good foot. He's got a strong foot.
Maybe he can kick that 45-yarder. Assumption 14, Davenport West nothing. They take advantage of the Forbes interception return, and a nice run by Joe Bitterman. Some great blocking up front by the Assumption line.
That's the name of the game in football. There's a couple of big mistakes by West, and Assumption is able to capitalize on those mistakes, and that's a sign of a good team. When the offense makes those mistakes and the defense captures the football and the offense comes in and scores, that's what you want to happen. I'm sure Coach Kazmarek is really pleased about that.
Did Forbes give you any headaches last year? I see he's a senior. He's looking pretty good so far.
Not particularly that I recall. Of course, last year O'Neill, I think, hammered us pretty good, and of course they had the Conroy to Collins connection, so he kind of stole all the limelight away from the other receivers, and deservedly so. He's just an excellent athlete.
Thing I
Forbes
remember
is showing some stuff tonight, though.
He sure has. The thing I remember about Collins is all the talk in the preseason about him. Not a whole lot of kids around here get named to recruiting lists like he did.
That's true.
I don't know why. With the number of people Quad Cities has produced in the NFL, you'd think more would make some of those recruiting lists. Of course, those recruiting guys don't know everything.
That's true. They make mistakes.
Down to the 15, picking
Here's
it up, Meyerbachtel. He's turning the corner on the right side. Got some room. Won't go all the way as he gets to about the 43-yard line. Pretty good recovery by Assumption there.
Nice return there by Nate Meyerbachtel.
Out of bounds at the 43, 26 yards on the return.
Meyerbachtel 6'1", 190. Moves pretty good for a big kid.
Westwood really needs to get on the board right now. Down 14-0, 2:34 left in the third quarter.
They're up and ready. Assumption a little bit unorganized, but they're back in position now.
Strobane hands
There's
off
the
to
ISO.
Meyerbachtel. He breaks the tackle and smashed. It looks like Forbes as well as Gravert in on the tackle.
Gravert,
I'm sorry.
Gravert put the punishment on after the initial stop. Good gain though, four-yard gain by Meyerbachtel. That's the isolation play again. And that's a pretty basic play in the West playbook, that play right there. You got a good blocking fullback and a pretty good scampering tailback. That's a good play.
You're listening to the commentary of a former Davenport West assistant and Davenport North head coach Cy Robinson. 14-0, Assumption over West right now. Fake up the middle, now back to pass. Strobane did a good job of throwing that ball out of bounds.
Yes, he did. He almost had to eat it back there for about a 10-yard loss. That time, the play before they ran the isolation play and gave to the tailback, that time they ran the same play to the opposite side. The quarterback fakes the give to the tailback and then boots to the opposite side. And a lot of time, we'll have a receiver out there wide open. And that time, though, the Assumption sniffed that out and played good defense and plus good pressure from that defensive front four. And that was almost a big loss there for West.
Third down and about 6. Strobane gives ahead to Meyerbachtel. Some hard running up the middle, but the Davenport Assumption linebacking crew says no more after a gain of about 2.
I'm not so sure all 4 of their linebackers weren't on that tackle, with O'Neill maybe leading the way. And O'Neill and Gravert, the inside linebackers. And there are a couple of good ones.
They're built like linebackers, too. Fourth down at about the 48-yard line. Back to punt. The man who's been in there a lot tonight, probably a little more than his coach would like to see him on the field.
Yep, Shane Cochran back again.
And the headache, Forbes back to receive it. The headache for Davenport West. Good kick as he was trying to kick that out of bounds, I believe, all the way. So Davenport Assumption will take over. I don't know why I keep saying Davenport. Of course, it's Davenport. Assumption versus West here. Take over at about the 27-yard line.
That's a pretty smart kick there by the punter. I'm sure Coach Flynn told him not to kick that ball to Matt Forbes because it didn't take him too long to realize that Forbes can run with the football.
He's really been an easy pick for star of the game so far.
For the West still now in their basic 44.
Straight ahead, that's got to be Grant Pullman, who's got a shot at 100 yards if he keeps going at the steady pace he's gone all night for one more quarter.
Good line blocking there, just eating up some clock now, winning the smash mouth up front. 4-yard gain.
Right at about 40 seconds remaining and counting. Assumption up in the third quarter, that is. Assumption up 14-0 over Davenport West. Assumption getting a nice all-around game to just kind of put them in position for the big plays, and they've had two big ones here in the third quarter, both by Matt Forbes with Joe Bitterman's 20-yard touchdown run, giving the Knights their second score. I'm sorry.
Yes. A little slow coming out, a little slow getting the play out that time, and the Striped Church, you know, they run out of things to do out there, so they blow the whistle and throw the flag.
Looked like they did a little too good of a job of stalling, did the Assumption Knights, so trying to get to the quarter mark or something. That's got to be, as a fan, I know that's the play that drives people nuts, is the encroachment and the too much time calls. It's got to be even worse for the coach because he knows it's driving everybody else nuts too.
Once the official sets that ball in play, you got 25 seconds to snap the football, and sometimes it seems like 3.
Second down and 1. This will be the last play of the third quarter in all likelihood. Give us to Pullman. Makes a couple nice moves, cuts up the middle, cuts back against the grain, I should say, and he gets out to about the 34-yard line, and that'll be the last play of the third quarter.
Nice run there by Gravert. Got some good blocking out front and picked up about 4 on the play.
We'll be back with the fourth quarter. Assumption 14, Davenport West nothing here on Family Ties.
DARE is a simple acronym for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. It's a drug prevention program that not only focuses on the negative aspects of drugs, but also on the positive side of life.
DARE helps teach young people how to resist peer pressure to take drugs and to resist the pressure to join gangs.
Community schools with their local police department offer the 17-week DARE program.
DARE to make a difference.
Okay, we're back. Start of the fourth quarter. Assumption ball, and the crowd alive below us here for Assumption as O'Neill goes in motion. McGraw hands off to Pullman. Swarmed under there. The West defense all over him. 34 and 41 for Davenport West.
Okay.
There's a horn out in the audience that shouldn't have been blown. 11:09 here in the third quarter left. West needs to get on the board. Pitch out.
There's a different play.
To Ryan.
Excuse me, Jim.
But he got nothing as Assumption was all over it. 61 and 60 for the Knights.
Sean Kroger, number 60, was it?
He was one of them in there, as
and
was
61.
Neil Lynn.
Neil Lynn. A couple of seniors, a couple of 200-pound seniors. There's a formation, a little bit of a formation change for West there. Set in their eye, and they sent the fullback in motion. Looked like they were in a one-back. Tried to get a little something going to the outside.
Strobane gives straight ahead to number 9, Jim Ryan. He's got some potential. He's one of those guys we talk about that you like to give him a few chances to carry the ball because exciting things can happen.
Sophomore running back is very impressive, Jim, carrying the football. He's got the good blocking in front of him and takes advantage of it and knows how to lay back and wait for it to happen.
One thing that gets forgotten in all this sometimes is a sophomore in high school, just how young the kid is and having to adjust to playing with the varsity when you got seniors wanting their friends in there and that kind of.
And pick up a little more if they're going to get back in this game.
Oh, Ryan met in the backfield immediately by O'Neill. 44.
Jim, that's the O'Neill that we know right there. He sniffed out the isolation play, came across from inside linebacker spot, and put a mash tackle on Jimmy Ryan there. Great play by Tim O'Neill.
Tim O'Neill, the 235-pound senior, on a play that would have made Mike Singletary proud of the way he burst in there.
He's going to be an all-conference candidate. There's no question about that. Excellent player.
Boy, Assumption really in control of this game right now. 8:54 left. They can get any kind of a drive going. Milk some time off the clock. Up by 14 over Davenport West. Gives straight ahead, not surprisingly. This time to Might be Bedford.
Little keep the clock going play there off the right tackle.
Joe Bedford getting the carry. And he gained about a yard. And as you said, the clock running, and that's what Assumption's after right now. O.J. Payne on the tackle, among others.
Thought I saw number 36 come in, Corsiglia, Mike. Yes, yes it is too. He's over at the wingback position.
Gives straight ahead again. McGraw hands off to Bedford.
Good defensive plays there from West by number 46, Eric Dilly.
3rd down and 9 as Bedford has carried the ball twice for about, well, I think it's about 3rd and 10 now. Gained 1, then lost 1.
Right.
But he's gained a minute off the clock, 7:38 left and counting in the 4th quarter. Assumption with a chance to rack up a win on opening night.
They're going to have to get it going here, Jim, and they're going to have another delay penalty. It feels like they're taking a long time to get this ball off. They did, though.
McGraw back to pass, looking, throwing deep. It's a safe pass. Forbes up and just with about
5 defenders around Forbes there, Jim, and he almost made the play. Obviously has a little bit of leaping ability, too.
A good call by Mark Kazmarek, though, because even if they'd intercepted it, it'd been just as good as a punt at about the 28-yard line is where the man would have come down with the ball. As it was, Forbes almost came down with it for a 1st down. Ball bounced free. 4th down, Assumption will punt.
This is Meyer-Bachtel back again.
Tony Howland
West
gets
was
off
coming
the kick.
there, but he got a nice punt off.
Meyer-Bachtel brings it in at about the 20. Now backtracking, now going around the right side, making the loop and picking up, well, he only got about 6 yards out of it, but a nice try by Meyer-Bachtel. Didn't quite have enough speed to get to the outside.
Right. And he couldn't get the corner block set so he could get that place sprung either, so Assumption was able to string it out.
7:03 left, 14-0. Assumption over West. And the Battle of Davenport neighbors here at Brady Street Stadium. Although it was called Forbes Field in the 3rd quarter. And it was Forbes Field in the 3rd quarter.
West in the eye, and Moshe coming to the near side.
Back to pass, a dangerous
screen.
Got him open though, and he's picking up some yardage. Oh, we got a penalty flag. I don't know, face mask?
I think that's probably going to be a clip from what I saw. Nice play there. Nope, we got a holding call. Same difference. It's only going to be 10 yards instead of 15. We had a lot of flow to the right side there as like on a flare or a flare pattern to the right, and then Strobane turned and threw back on a screen pass to the tight end, and he had 4 blockers in front of him. And, actually, Assumption played that pretty well. Came up and made the play on it.
Yes, they did. Darren Riggs looked like he had a blocker in front of him and a chance possibly to get outside, but as soon as I thought that, Assumption had the people there.
Okay, Assumption accepts the 10-yard penalty. It's going to be 1st down and they're going to have to go to about Clinton for a 1st down, I think.
I'll be doing a little radio next week. I understand Dan Burrich, the Wild Man, will be joining Coach Cy Robinson in the booth next week.
That ought to be a show, ain't it?
That should be.
Double tights for West.
Straight ahead and out to the right side. A nice run. Meyer-Bachtel breaks into the clear. He's got a 1st down and then some. Out to about the 41-yard line.
Excellent blocking there, Jim, by the right side of the offensive line there for West. Francis, the right tackle, and Anderson, the right guard. And I think the end over there was number 86 for West, with throwing a good block to Brent Goers.
Timeout Assumption. As we said earlier in the 1st half, we've liked the time that Coach Mark Kazmarek has elected to call timeout for Assumption. I think this is another good one. He wants to keep West off the board, not let anything get started.
Excellent call here, I think. Slowing things down. That's going to fire West offense up just a little bit and get them going. And I think it looks like Coach Wade King's out there, and he wants to get those perimeters. He wants to get his perimeters widened out a little bit because Meyerbachtel got to the outside there for a good gainer.
For Davenport West, this game really kind of turned around, began to turn around in a negative way for Coach Paul Flynn and his staff when they had that fumble right near the end of the first half inside the 10. They were going in for a score. Meyerbachtel had a little trouble with the handoff. Assumption recovered on the 5, and Davenport West hasn't got very close since.
No, they haven't gotten it going since that. Okay, ready to go here. I formation, flanker left.
Strobane back to pass. Got a man open.
Wide open.
Right at the 48. He's going to get a first down. That's number 81, Darren Riggs.
Brought down by number 21 from Assumption, Andy Stewart, a 150-pound senior, playing at the cornerback spot over here, or the right halfback spot.
Same play they tried earlier where they had the holding play. This time it really worked well. Riggs picks up a first down to the 42. Assumption Knight 42-yard line. West wanting to get on the board desperately.
Counter.
Slow developing play. Counter to Ryan, and
Jim, the play was really there, what they just ran to the inside, but Jimmy Ryan, I think this is kind of an inexperienced thing. Jimmy Ryan needs to cut up behind his pulling guard. That time he tried to go to the outside, and I think the play was there because the guard, West High's left guard, I think that's Joe Cardell, put a good block on the defensive tackle over there.
Pat Bush on the tackle.
Again.
Pat Bush on the tackle for Assumption, making a nice play. Got his man open in the right flats, and he moves on downfield. I don't know if he got a first down or not. Down about the 30, inside the 30 possibly. We'll see where they spot it. TJ Schnicklaw. Easy initials, but a tough last name.
I noticed you've been spitting on that one a little bit tonight.
Schnicklaw, I guess. It's one of those you got to do like 10 practices before you come out.
Yeah.
Third down and about a yard for Davenport West. They desperately want to get on the board and then see what can happen. I'm sure we'll see an onside kick.
A little off tackle play, getting something set up here. Get the first down, and try to get something going here.
Meyerbachtel into the line for a first down at the 30-yard line. Still have 30 hard yards to Patert against a tough Assumptionite defense, which is pitched to shut out this far. Ball on the ground. Quarterback had trouble with the center snap. Assumption recovers.
Jim, it looked like on the snap there that the ball fell right straight back to the ground, and generally when that happens, the center doesn't quite get the ball up all the way into the quarterback's hands. So unfortunate there for West. They had it going a little bit, but another crucial mistake, which they can't make against a team like Assumption.
But Assumption has been there when they've had to be, and they've played pretty good solid defense all night anyway. But the turnovers really decide in this one, along with a very solid effort by the Assumption offense, especially in the second half. They've done what they had to
motion, little inside trap. Nice defensive play there by.
No doubt the Knights have gone a little conservative here after getting up 14-0, and well, they should. No need to take any chances of throwing an interception. We're under 5 minutes left. This is looking real good for Assumption.
I'm still trying to figure out who snuffed out that little inside trap. I think it was number 99 for West, Tony Paulson, 6 foot, 226-pound junior.
We're nearing the 4-minute mark, 14-0 Assumption on opening night here at Brady Street Stadium. Not opening night for the stadium, though. They opened last night with a barn burner.
We're going to have a delay of game again, you bet. I think this is one thing that Coach Kazmarek will probably try to shore up for next week to get his plays in sooner, or not necessarily that, but to get his kid in with the play sooner. I think that's a second delay penalty, and those, at this point, not real costly, but if it were a tighter ball game, I'm sure he'd be pulling his hair out.
Speaking in general terms, Coach, isn't it often the fault of the coach, whether it's college or high school,
Often it is.
on
That's
getting
for
to play
sure.
in late?
Matter of fact, in most cases, it's the fault of the coaches when they don't get to play in.
Give straight ahead and with a little bit of running room.
Good run there by 34. Is that Gary? Nick Gary.
Nick Gary. Nick Gary on the carry. Out to about the 33-yard line. It'll be 3rd and a long.
Got a timeout West right here.
3:38 left. Davenport West may get shut out tonight by the Assumption Knights. The Knights leading 14-0 here in the 4th quarter.
If West's going to get back in here, Jim, they got to hold here, take the punt, and take it down the field and gain the onside. There's a lot of things that have to happen here for them to get back in the game. Right now, Assumption is controlling it.
I think this is the kind of night, if you're Mark Kazmarek, the Assumption coach, you're pleased with the result. Nonetheless, you can see there's plenty of room for development. Maybe it might be a better word than improvement on your squad, as a lot of these guys seeing some action for the first time at key positions. And nonetheless, a superb job of taking advantage of the breaks.
I really doubt if either one of these teams will have a tougher game this year. This has been really a hard-hitting game, and as any Assumption Davenport West game is, it's very physical battle.
In terms of college football, this is about the equivalent of Illinois opening with Michigan.
I think you're right. That's
West
good comparison.
opening with Assumption.
Good comparison. You have two of the top teams in the MAC conference battling here tonight, and both these teams are going to have a lot to do with how the finish in the MAC conference goes, because they're both going to beat some people.
And they could meet again possibly in the playoffs, correct?
Last year they opened this game. Assumption won the opener. They went 9-0, I believe, and West went 8-1. So, and Assumption won the conference, and then Assumption won the playoff game. So that could certainly be a repeat.
The Knights looking good right now as McGraw hands off to, looks like a fresh ball carrier in there.
Looked like 32. Is that
that'd be Pullman, I'm sorry.
Again. Pullman.
His jersey's getting so dirty, well, I have trouble seeing if it's him, but he does look like it has the black bands on the arm, which is Grant Pullman.
Yeah. Punt team's coming in now. Oh, we got timeout by West, I guess.
Assumption's rode the Pullman car a bit offensively and fairly effectively.
We'll see what happens. See what Coach Paul Flynn, the head coach of the Falcons, wants to do here, whether he wants to try to block this punt or whether he wants to try to get a good return on it. So far, return average or return yardage by West hasn't been that good. He may want to try to block this punt.
Coach, you hear coaches often talk about the emotion involved in the game and how it can, getting a turnover can really turn things, light you up or diffuse you. How much of a factor do you think that has been tonight, and how true do you find it when you were coaching? Did you find it when you were coaching?
There's nothing that deflates you like a turnover, especially when you're moving the ball down the field and you're getting ready to know that you're going to put 6 points on the board and you cough it up. That's a tremendous downer for you.
Holland back to punt, gets it off. A nice rush by Davenport West.
Setting up a return here by West. He's got a lot of room.
Meyer Bachtel starts up the right side, and he's going directly out of bounds.
Going to shut the clock off, Jim.
Yep. Didn't see any running room.
Excellent punt coverage by Assumption. Staying in their lanes, converged on the ball. Meyer Bachtel had nowhere to go, so he ran it out of bounds to stop the clock.
Stop it he did with 3:18 remaining. And Assumption ahead 14-0. It's looking like a night tonight.
Oh, that was good.
Occasionally one or two will come out.
What a way with
as
words.
hoped for. Back to pass.
Oh, I thought that was going to happen. That was looked like 81 there was the intended receiver for West, Darren Riggs, and number 21 from Assumption, Andy Stewart, had a hold of him about 5 yards before the ball got there. So pretty obvious pass interference call.
Ron Strobane, I should say, showed a pretty good arm on that play. He really threw it long and hard for about 30 yards in the air.
That'll be a 15-yard gain for West, and a first down. It's going to be right at about their own, what, 43-yard line? Nope, 42 and a half. Yeah, I know you just hate it when I do.
No, I don't. I can take it. Actually, he called it the 42. Actually, the Big Ten, they call that, in NCAA, they call it the 43, based on the way the ball's marked. Back to pass. Strobane out of a crowd. He finds downfield.
Oh.
Nice try at the sideline, but
that was a nice throw and a real nice attempt to catch the ball. Just a hair overthrown to number 80 for West, T.J. Schneckloth. That's a big target, Jim. He's 6'5", 190 pounds.
And he's got quite a reach, although not quite enough on that play, and he was using every bit he had. Nice effort by T.J. Schneckloth. I want to prove I can say that name.
Okay.
Number 80.
Well, yeah, I think you got it. With 3 minutes to go, you got it.
Yeah. Had they gone to him more, I would have had it a couple minutes earlier. Pitch back, Jim Ryan, and he is hit by that Assumption linebacking crew.
Good job by Assumption defense, forcing the play inside. West, if they're going to run that play, Jimmy Ryan has got to run the ball to the outside. Otherwise, Assumption is going to stuff it.
Mike Corsiglia, number 36, among others in there. That should be, yes.
Yep, too many
men on the field. Tough break for West. The flag, it looked like the flag tripped up Strobane. It probably didn't. But
actually West got a little break there because there was Assumption had 32 people on the field, and he's trying to roll out and slides on the do, and it would have been about an 8-yard loss, but they're going to have about a.
At the same time, he kind of lost a free play there.
All right, that's true. But I think that's, I don't know if that's illegal participation or what they're going to call here.
They certainly were playing everybody on that one.
Right. They were trying to get off the field and couldn't make it.
Strobane, a 6'2", 185-pound senior.
3rd and 6.
Doing a lot of passing right now. Wings it over the middle. Intercepted.
Oh.
I think that looks like Forbes. It is. And he's off and running. He's at midfield. Shakes, bakes. Cuts up to the 40 and is brought down inside the 40-yard line. What moves by this kid, but more importantly, what hands.
Right. It was a nice job. I think the pass was intended for Darren Riggs, but I think Darren Riggs thought that there was a receiver behind him on his own team that was going to catch that football, because he did not make an attempt for the ball. So I don't think he thought the ball was to him. And if he'd have gone up for it, he might have been able to tip it or something. But Forbes was right there behind him to make a good interception. Good defensive play by Matt Forbes, not letting that receiver get behind him and just picking it off. And he can do something with it when he does pick it off too.
I know what my lead would be tonight if I was still writing. I'll get to that later. As Assumption will just try to wind down the clock here as we're right at about the 2-minute mark. Give up the middle.
Inside trap, eating a little clock there. Tackled by most of the West High football team there.
Yeah, I think if I was writing this one, it goes something like, it's called Brady Street Stadium, but tonight in the second half, it was truly Forbes Field. 2 interceptions. One leading to the second score by Assumption, and also, more importantly, or just as importantly, a 45-yard scamper with a short pass for a touchdown to give Assumption its first score of the night. Matt Forbes, a senior, has done a heck of a job, and he's got some moves that
he does
scare people when they see this film.
I think West has just enjoyed their 3rd timeout now to get that clock shut off, 1:43, and Assumption still has a lot of downs to go in this series, so they're going to have to tackle the football. And I expect Assumption to be kind of in a little bit of a save-the-game offense here. Close their splits down, just hang on to the ball. I'm sure that's what Kaz is telling them out there.
Coach, we know Kaz likes the double reverse. You think he might get it in Forbes' hands next week? Maybe he was trying to get it to him. The play never quite developed.
How many times do you think they're going to run that Monday to get that play down right? It's still a good football play, and they're going. Don't worry, we'll see it this year. Run to perfection, because I know Coach Kazmarek is a stickler for perfection.
It's a fun play, and the fans enjoy it. And of course, when it works, everybody says, "Why don't you run it more?" And when it doesn't, they go, "Why did you run that play?"
Mm-hmm.
Give straight ahead.
Little inside trap again.
Nick Geary.
A shirt tackle there by number 46, Eric Dilly.
Nick Geary brings it to the 30. We're at the 123 mark and counting on what is definitely going to be an Assumption night victory. I believe we can say.
Jim, Assumption can take it down, snap the ball twice here, and I doubt if they'll punt the ball here. They're on West 30. Maybe take a penalty next time and let the clock run down. There's a delay of game right there.
With 1 minute remaining. Yep. Assumption has really done a great job. Forbes has made the game-breaking plays, but he's been set up by a good line play on defense, which really forced some of the situations into the passing. And then he's made some great plays himself back there in the secondary. But I've been impressed with that Assumption linebacking crew and their line as well on defense. And just a nice opener for the offense. Not great, but nice.
3rd and 9.
Give is to somebody whose number that'll take a while for us to find.
A lot of red shirts on the tackle there.
It looks like it might have been our old friend Pullman, or no, Corsiglia.
Okay.
Our Assumption spotter tells us. He's also the sports information director. He told me that Matt Gravard won the state title in wrestling that I haven't had a chance to get in since he told me, so we'll sneak it in there.
Well done, Jim. You're really smooth at that.
Yeah, not too obvious at all. Assumption having a fine all-around game tonight. They're going to win it here. This may be probably be the last play of the game. Give this to Corsiglia, and he does a nice little job of getting around the left side for a gain of about 5 yards. Well, I guess it won't be the last play. Another timeout.
Well, it's
fourth down. I'm sorry.
Clock's going to start as soon as they put it, as soon as they spot the ball and get the yard markers on. They'll start the clock again. So West has time for one play.
I think we'll see the bomb here.
I would guess so.
A nice opener for Mark Kazmarek and the Assumption Knights.
A lot of clean shirts out there right now for Assumption. Take us a while to identify them. There goes the clock. Clock started, so they're going to get one play off here.
Now they'll get a quarter towards their letter, right?
Yes.
As long as they snap the ball here, which they do. And a fumble. How appropriate. Mishandled pitch out. Kind of a wide right.
Yeah, we had a new tailback in the game for West there, Pearson. And,
number 2 had trouble finding that ball. 14-0 the final here. Davenport Assumption, a victor here at Brady Street Stadium. As both teams get ready for the traditional handshake. The final here, Assumption 14, Davenport West nothing. The Knights are off and running in the 1995 season.
Jim, a pleasure working with you again tonight. I appreciate you carrying me again.
That's not true. You do a great job, Coach, and I appreciate the opportunity to work with you. I need about 4 more games with you, and I'll start to feel educated the way a person should be in football. You coaches are on top of it.
Well, it's just comes with that experience, I guess. Just a comment here about how the coaches are feeling about this. Coach Kazmarek, I'm sure, is going to come out in the paper tomorrow disappointed about this win, even though he won the game. But that's the kind of personality he is. He demands that perfection, as most coaches do, but he is verbal about it. I think Coach Flynn will come out tomorrow saying he's very proud of what his team did, and I'm sure they're very disappointed in their loss, and he's going to tell you that the mistakes they made this game cost them the game, and Assumption was able to capitalize on those mistakes and put 14 points on the board. So
really defensively, Davenport